Well, good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us for another fun-filled edition of the Real Estate Backstory. My name is Alan Richardson. I'm the managing broker at Maximum Realtor and Realty Partners.
I'm Ming Richardson. I'm the compliance broker for Maximum One Realty and Realtor Partners.
And with us today, we have the folks from New American Funding. So, Nancy, hey, good morning.
Good morning to y'all.
So, you want to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Well, that's it. I'm with New American Funding. I've been an active loan originator. Well, I've been in the mortgage business for quite a number of years. Currently a loan officer, like I said, with New American Funding. And we're here to partner with you guys, be available for you, and offer all the new and latest programs to get your buyers pre-qualified and get them to the closing table.
Awesome. We're going to be talking more about that today, which is kind of why we have you with us here today. So we really appreciate you joining us, kind of thing. And so we're going to kind of start jumping in here and kind of going through, our normal. Now, there's definitely going to be a slant towards the lending side because we love having you on and being able to glean information from you. So I do want to kind of jump out there real quick and talk about, we have 2 CE classes this week. They're both on Wednesday, which is great timing. So Wednesday at 9:30, Dana Sparks is going to be teaching license law for agents and brokers. And you can also catch real life closing nightmares and how to avoid them. This is from Luter, Larkin, and Hunter. And so they're going to be teaching, all the things, the pitfalls to worry about and to be looking at for, when you go
prior
to closing. Yeah.
Right. There are steps that you need to do as a listing agent prior to take on a listing, just so you're not spinning your tails on something that may not be valid. So because you don't want to work on this file and just to find out at the end, guess what? The person who signed the contract has no authority or it needs probate and you're looking at another 60, 90 days.
And we don't get, Nancy, you guys don't get paid either. Until,
yeah. And
then we're not closing. Yeah. What did I do wrong, right?
Yeah. Like, why didn't anybody touch this?
Yeah.
No, that's true. We don't need the experience, the exercise. Okay.
No, we get plenty of exercise.
That's it.
So.
All right. Well, today we got Nancy, and then Melissa's going to be joining us here in just a few minutes, kind of thing. And so, like I said, we really appreciate them being with us. They're with New American Funding, and they're going to be in our Noonan office as well. I mean, not Noonan, Fayetteville office as well here. So, and that one is going very well. So it's starting to roll. Things are busy. So Nancy, first thing I want to throw at you is Google came out this week and said that so Google has teamed up with CFPB, and we're already not a huge fan of CFPB, but I mean, I understand why they're there, but now they're putting out this partnership with them. And I guess my question to you, is this really just a way to make loan officers and mortgage companies advertise with Google? I'm just wondering, is that what's really going on with this?
I would suspect so, because I mean, we're all under the CFPB and the guidelines and everything like that. So I think it's just a kind of like one of those underlining formats. It's like, hey, look here, I'm with Google. So if you come with us, I mean, it'd be the same as, yes, we could, state that on any of our other websites or anything like that and say, yes, we are in compliance with all the CFPB rules and guidelines. I think this is just throwing something else new out there because Google likes to join in with everything. I mean, Google is we even have them a few partnerships with New American Funding. So Google's just reaching out to different avenues to, keep them.
Well, I'm not knocking them. I just thought it was funny that CFPB and Google are putting together this whole website information series kind of thing. And I'm kind of the like, okay, what's really going on kind of guy. So
yeah, I wonder if they're going to I don't know. I mean, are they going to list mortgage companies in rankings or something like that?
I guess they're going to sell ad space on those pages is what it looks like to me. And I mean, talk about expensive ad space to sell. Yeah. It seems like it would be a really smart move on their part, but a little bit dirty. They're sneaky. Maybe dirty is the wrong word. So
they're trying to make themselves the JD Power of the mortgage industry. I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing I want to throw at you. So mortgage rates saw just a slight uptick last week, but they are still crazy,
Low.
stupid, amazing low. What do you see happening with interest rates these days?
Well, I mean, we're still going to see them down here. And it's like usual. Wait till the election. We're going to be fine. We're going to be down in these low rates, just a little bump here, bump there. After elections or getting closer to election time, that's when we're going to have to start watching them. Of course, COVID coming into this virus is still affecting it. And as you know, the housing industry is the largest that affects our economy. So they're going to keep it affordable. But I'm sure we're probably going to see a little upswing right after election. Not much.
It can't go down anymore. I mean, really. I mean, like how do you get lower than what we really are? I mean, pretty soon we're just they're gonna give us money to get to take a mortgage here soon. I mean, it's getting ridiculous. I know that my parents' first mortgage was like 13.5, and they were thankful to get it.
Oh yes. I remember the days when the sellers and the builders had to bring money to the closing table to close the loan. And so for me, being in this industry as long as I have, I look at anything under 10%. Hey, that's a good rate, people.
That's a good deal. You tell somebody 10% is a good rate, though, they're going to think you're nuts today.
I know. Now they're thinking, oh my God, 5%. Oh, that's horrible. And I'm like, guys, hey, anything can happen in this industry.
All right. Now, mortgage purchase applications are up 20% over last year, kind of thing. And I know refi is up, but they're only up about 5%, but still it's 122% up. Mm-hmm. And purchase applications are up huge. I mean, I guess this is sort of the same thing we were talking about. How crazy is business on your side?
Oh, it is unbelievable. Even during this pandemic, I mean, everybody I've talked to in this industry, it's just unreal. Everybody is buying a house. Everybody's refinancing. I mean, I've never seen the business this way. I mean, it's the busiest I think we have ever been, that I can remember as far as purchases, not just refis. This is purchases.
Yeah. We're seeing the same thing.
What do you recommend as a lender to all the agents out there for the loan type, and what is a reasonable financing contingency period? Because I still see some for 14 days and I'm just shaking my head like there's absolutely no way.
Well, I mean, yes, we're telling everybody, okay, if it's a standard regular loan, FHA, VA, conventional, no down payment assistance, we need 30 days. Okay. And it's not just for us. We've got the outside vendors that have the problems too. These appraisers are just overloaded as well. So you want to make sure that they do a good job and they have time to do their due diligence. So 30 days for a regular loan. If it is a down payment assistance loan, we need 45 days. Now, true, yes, there are some conventional loans where everything is lined up correctly. Everything's perfect. We have a few of those loans, and we've still closed those within 14 days, but it's few and far between.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not only that, lenders, I mean, some of the appraiser I know are not actually sitting themselves physically inside a house when they do appraisal. They'll exterior appraisal and basically look at the images that the agent has taken for interior, and that may cause some of the appraisal. Well, we have gotten some appraisal issue because of that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So.
All right. The FICO score, average FICO score is up 9 points since March. Why do you think? I mean, that's good. But is it people are saving more because and being smarter during COVID? But like why would, any ideas on why the FICO scores? I mean, is that feeding into the increase in business? I mean, I know I didn't prep you on any of this, so I know I'm just throwing you.
Yeah, no, my personal opinion is on the FICO scores is that people are not out spending. They're not out in the marketplace. I know you still got, online bank, purchases, things like that, but mostly, and I mean speaking for like myself, I mean, I'm not going out to, the local stores and everything like that, buying here and there, just like I used to. So I think that the credit accounts are being seasoned. They're not having as much activity. And when you don't have the activity and you just make your monthly payment as usual, your credit score is going to go up. So that's where I think that may be coming from. The cards are, just being seasoned and not used like they had been in the past.
That's great.
I mean, we're seeing the same thing is folks are just being a little bit thrifty, smarter,
Right.
just, we just don't
Well,
see it
you know how it was before. You'd go out on a Saturday afternoon with your girls, or, and you'd hit the little shopping mall and you may be in 6 different stores and, oh, look at this one little thing. Well, we aren't really doing that right now. So therefore there's not as many purchases.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's good because we need more people to be able to get finance. So that works out really good.
Yeah, it does. It does.
So we're really, really pleased to announce that compliments of Nancy and Melissa and New American, they have given us access to a program called ListReports. So Nancy, thank you very much. And this is a very exciting program for us and for our agents to be able to utilize. And so we just kind of wanted to, have you on today. Thank you. And then kind of go through with everyone, what is ListReports and how does it work? And just to do a brief overview. Also on every Thursday, we do a Tech Thursday, hashtag Tech Thursday, and it's on our Real Estate Backstory website and all those kind of things. And we send it out to everybody. And this is where we're going to go into more detail. And Nancy and Melissa, I hope you guys can join us on there as well, just kind of go through and answer any questions. But this is just going to be kind of a brief overview about what you can do with ListReports and how to get signed in and how to get logged in, and then how to get partnered up with Nancy and Melissa. And it's important that you do get partnered up with Nancy and Melissa, because when you do, there's all kinds of neat features and additional tools that you don't get access to unless you partner up with Nancy and Melissa. So I'm going to do just a quick overview kind of thing. So again, got to make sure that please, you can, and I'm just being straight up, you can go in to ListReports and not select a featured lending agent. But if you don't, you're missing out, because there is a ton of really amazing tools. And on top of that, one thing that we love is Nancy and Melissa are phenomenal. These are not rookie LOs, okay? And we've been working with Nancy and Melissa. They close deals, they know what they're talking about, and they don't got their thumb up their caboose, okay? They really got their act together. And so to have tools like this on top of really being able to partner with amazing LOs is truly a blessing for us.
And not only that, when, with Nancy and Melissa, they'll tell you up front whether or not your client is qualified today or 6 months down the road, because they know how valuable your time is and theirs too. Yeah. So there's no need of chasing certain thing if the client is not going to comply and get their score where they need to be. So, but I believe they do monitor the client, touch bases. They have their own drip. And once the files, is get to the point where it's ready, they'll reach out to you as well. So
Nancy, thank you. What are your feelings about Nancy, or about Nancy, about ListReports?
Well, from what I've seen, and of course we just did the training, and again, I think it's New American. We're excited about it. It is a new avenue for us. We've also, one of our managers is very much into it. There's another section in the country that is using ListReports, and the reviews have been very, very good. And that's why he was excited for us to join in as well, because it is something new and exciting. And like I said, what I've seen on there is there's so much information once an agent has signed up that they haven't had access to before. It really, I encourage everybody just to go and review it. It is really something good.
Well, I'm going to run through kind of the overview of the whole program. But again, please sign up under Nancy. Nancy and Melissa, they really are phenomenal, and it's going to give you a lot of cool features. So I'm just going to kind of run us through real quick. So first of all, they have marketing kits, and they have over 25 marketing kits that can automatically go into your into your inbox. Single property websites, just sold websites, information graphics, neighborhood reports, property reports, listing flyers, property flyers, all those kind of things that we want to do and make like their property flyers. One of the things I like so much about ListReports is they look great. It is and it is easily integrated. It pulls the data. And really, it's
seamless.
It is so easy to make a flyer. It used to be back in the day, you had to be a graphic artist if you're going to make property flyers. Nah, not with this. You can pick your templates. You can go all the way through. Every day they send out a shareable that you are able to share out into your social media. You can brand it specifically to you, and you can share directly from ListReports and send it out. And anyone that clicks on that, it automatically puts them into your dashboard. Every day it sends out this daily list report, which is kind of like an email version of this. It talks about what's going on in the market, things happening, and just some really cool information, as well as the ability to use list reports.
And for clients that likes information, this is at their fingertip.
Yeah. You can do digital conferencing, Zoom calls like this for free in the system at the same time. But guess what? If you don't partner with Nancy, you don't get digital conferencing kind of thing. So you can host free video conference calls with up to 10 clients or colleagues for free at any time, and you get your own personal meeting room through there. You can go in and do property searches and set up property searches and send them out to your individual clients and to you as well if you want to. It has automatic follow-up with text to automatically send buyers new listings that match their preferences. It is a CRM it's a limited version of a free CRM. They also have list packs, and list packs automatically deliver the different type of information to your clients automatically, and it pulls the data out of the MLS and it sends it with just your information on it. It has text to lead capture, so you can text out and do lead capture, text dream home to this number kind of thing. And so each agent has their own text to lead capture number, and you can put in your own keywords. You have single property websites for each of your properties that you partner with on here. And so this is another one that if you don't partner with Nancy, you don't get it kind of thing, Nancy and Melissa. So I love being able to offer single property websites, and our sellers really love them, and especially everything that's going on, with the COVID kind of thing. You can go in and you can actually do a live open house, an online open house through ListReports at the same time and share out your property website. It also has just sold property websites, which you get in there. In addition, you get this thing called nest.me, which is basically, you get your own link, but it's a freestanding searchable website for property websites for each agent. And again, how do you get that? Because you're partnered with Nancy and Melissa. Okay. So again, like I said, there are some free basic functions that work without partnering, but that's one of the great parts about partnering is that there is really just a ton more information and access that you have. So we're going to go into greater detail on Thursday on #TechThursday. So please join us on there if you have more questions. But we are so crazy excited about being able to put list reports in for our agents, because these are some really cutting edge, amazing tools that can help you grow your business. So again, Nancy, gosh, thanks. We appreciate it.
Hey, like I said, New American likes to stay on top of things. And if somebody comes to us and says, hey, what about this? We will look into it. And if it's something we feel passionate about, which is like the list reports right now, we're going to try it out and see how it all works.
There we go. All right. Well, awesome. So we're gonna again, we just want to say thank you. We are gonna jump into like the regular. So you're more than we'd love to have you. Any feedback you got, jump in, kind of thing. But we're gonna move into some non-lender information as well now. But it's still going to relate to you and your industry. So you're more than welcome to hang out with us if you like, kind of thing. But if you got to go, we understand too. So.
Yeah. No, I'm afraid I'm going to have to end up going today. It's kind of end of the month, and
I get it.
I got a few things here that need to be addressed. Okay,
I understand.
Right.
Take care. Thank you for the sponsorship.
We sure
Thank
appreciate
you guys.
And partnership on that.
All righty. So we got a new bill that is that's being proposed that's going to let borrowers, it's right now it's in the House, and so but it will let borrowers be able to pull funds out of their retirement or ARA without paying an early withdrawal penalty. And this is something we've not been able to do to buy houses in the past, and so we think this is a pretty cool little gig right now, because in the past you really got gigged to do that. Now this would make it to where we can, or our buyers can really take advantage of these really low rates right now. New home sales jumped about 14% in June, the highest since 2007. Okay, and it is continuing to grow. So, the demand that we have out there in the marketplace is really, really strong. This is one of those really great times where it's great to be a buyer and it's great to be a seller. Normally, it's one person's market or the other, but the way the interest rates are, it's a really good time to buy, because your money is gonna go farther than any time in history, as far as I know.
Right.
At the same time, we're seeing really strong property values, and we're seeing rising prices, and so it's a really great time to sell. One of the things that we do that is a worry for us right now, and I think that we may see some more issues here. This is the last week of the federal unemployment, unless they extend something, which they always could. But last week is the first week since the pandemic hit that we've had an increase in unemployment claims. And so we have been going on this pretty steady decline until last week. And so, where that comes in, I think long-term unemployment will impact our housing market. Right now, it's heavily based on supply and demand, but at some point that's going to come home, to roost. We are seeing that our buyers are coming out of COVID, and they have more purchasing power than they have in the past, kind of thing. With these interest rates, that's one of the biggest things that really helps, for our buyers, what you can buy with a 4 or 3 or 4% mortgage.
You're looking at about anywhere from 25. That's at the interest rate between 4.5 to a 3. You're looking at anywhere from 25 to 50,000, depending on what your buyer range is. So, just depends.
So the demand is really, really there. Right now our home shoppers are 55% more optimistic than they have been, kind of thing. And existing home sales, according to NAR, is up over 20%. So we've got a 20% more demand. At the same time, we've got about 20% less supply. So it's a really big challenge for us right now. Forbearance is one of those issues that I do worry about moving forward in the long term. One of the good parts about forbearance is right now is of the folks who are in forbearance, over 3/4 of them, 75%, have at least 20% equity in their home, which means that even if they had to sell, they're going to make, they got money on there. And especially with where pricing is going, we're not seeing that drop. So while I'm not hoping that anyone is foreclosed on or needs to sell, that's not where I'm going with that. But we do have to realize that, yes, we could see an uptick in that, but we could also see folks that now's the right time to sell on there, because of the folks in forbearance, 3 out of 4 of them have over 20% equity in their home. Our recovery index is now, as a nation, over 100%. So 100% means that's where we were pre-COVID. So we are now overall as a country, which is amazing, because the South was really leading the way for a long while, kind of thing. And so according to NAR, the whole country now is over pre-COVID levels as a nation, and that's really good news for us.
Absolutely.
So we're very excited to see that going on. Again, existing home sales rose about 20.7% in June, and it came back in a line. For us, it was our best month ever, and now we're coming on the heels of our best month ever and having another best month ever. So it's really, really great time. And it's one of those things, if you're not doing business right now, it's on you. So our home sales surged the strongest rate in 13 years. And so, the fact that those are rising at such a strong rate, we've mentioned it a couple of times. One thing that we are seeing is some appraisal issues for sure. And so we're trying to keep some really close eyes on that. And even in last week's, we talked about some of the appraisal issues and how to handle that, continue to reach out with the appraisers. It's very important that you are communicating with your appraisers, because so many of them are doing drive-bys at this point. Kind of thing. So housing construction, new construction is posting a double-digit gains, and goodness gracious, do we need that? This is, for the new construction, that's one of those things where, for me, it's a double-edged sword. Like I need the builders to build more. When they build, that opens up the entire process, because then those folks sell their home to buy that one, and it just kind of keeps going down the line. So we need that. And we need it really, really bad. But the builders are getting a little bit big for their britches too. So you got to make sure you're protecting your clients through there.
And make sure, if you guys are going new construction, for the newer the one that hasn't been in Georgia, read their contract really carefully, because I can tell you right now, some of those are very, very predatory. And if your client doesn't understand it, you may see yourself out of commission on that one there. Yeah. So
you have to be very careful. I mean, it's like if you don't use their in-house lender, their earnest money may be at jeopardy, kind of thing.
Well, and I will tell you, and sometimes read their sign-in registration, because the way it reads, you may not be entitled to a co-op commission. So I'm seeing a couple of those, actually fighting with one right now, and I don't want to bash anybody, but at the same time, I know our agent's been working with them since February, and they found them on Facebook through our agent, and they want to decline our agent a commission. So we're working on that right now, but just be wary of the non-traditional other new construction home builder that you haven't heard of
with
before.
all of them. We've got to be very careful. It's one of those where they will beat you with that contract if they can.
Oh, absolutely. And so there's a lot of large player that's from out of state, that's been operating out of state other than Georgia, and doesn't understand our climate and how we deal, and they write the contract according to other states' rules and regulations. So just be careful with those.
We'll keep fighting for you, but just make sure you get your duckies in a row beforehand, kind of.
Oh yeah.
All right. Rent prices, on the other hand, is at its slowest pace in over 10 years. If you're working with investors, if you operate in the investment arena, residential rent prices for the first time have really, really slowed. It's been forever. Renting has been one of those, the rent rates have been going up. And that's been on one hand, that's been really good for us in the sales side, because it's been much more economical to buy a home than it has been to rent. But with everything going on, with what's happening in the economy, and we're seeing that renters have been impacted greater than homeowners by COVID. And so with that, it's a supply demand issue. So we are seeing rent prices starting to decline right now a little bit, which can be good news or bad news, depending. If you're a renter, that's good news. If you're a landlord, that's not such good news, kind of thing.
Right.
So I just wanted to keep you guys in the loop. Realtor.com has kind of avoided being in the iBuyer marketplace until now. So now, excuse me, Realtor.com is going to be partnering up with Open Door and a few others, kind of thing. And they're going to be, I think it's Open Door, Easy Knock, Home Go, and We Buy Houses. And so they're going to be offering those now as well. I'm not particularly excited about this. The only thing is that I really do feel that the iBuyers are are here for a specific period of time, and where we are in our market. There's, the average seller right now has between $50,000 and $70,000 in equity, and people will take ease, less pain, and they're willing to pay for it to make the process simple and fast. I'm not sure that that's always going to be the case. So right now the iBuyers are there, and we are starting to see that Realtor.com is trying to jump in. While they're not going to be managing it directly like a Zillow or a Redfin is, they are going to be partnering. So understand that if you are going to be, if you're doing Opcity leads, and if you're working with Realtor.com, now expect that your clients may ask you about these iBuyer options, and we can still do that. And with a lot of the iBuyers, they'll pay you a 1%. For presenting that property to them as well as an agent. So, being smart about that. Yes, it can be a negative. On the other hand, you can also use that to build your business as well. All right. Effective December 31st, our docs is gone from FMLS. Late in October, they're gonna be placing it in edit only mode, which means it's basically gonna die at the end of October, kind of thing. But it is there. It's all been switched over to Remind docs, and so FMLS has added a bunch of new classes. They're all online. And so it's called Docs Plus. And so you'll be able to switch over and to be able to access those. And honestly, the Remind docs are really, really good. They do a good job. So if you are going to be playing in, if you liked our docs, then by all means, you're probably going to like the Remind docs, because it's very, very similar product in a lot of ways. It's just, this button's here now as opposed to being there, that kind of stuff. So get in and learn it and see. So you can go to fmls.com/find a class and book your seats and be able to get signed up if that's something that you're looking to do here. So we have some new ways that we can use Zoom for lead generation, kind of thing. One thing that we're seeing more and more is that our buyers and our sellers want us to be really creative in how we're engaging. We still have a lot of clients who don't know that COVID's here, but we have a lot of clients that it's really impacted their life. So doing things like Zoom, like we're doing here today, this can be a really effective way. Plus it shows that you're very comfortable with technology, and that you're not a big wussy, and that you're not scared to do video. That's also a really good thing to do. But there's some other things that you can do. And so one of the things that we've seen that's been very successful is including your sellers in a virtual open house. Do a virtual open house and interview your sellers. Now, I don't mean like they host it, because you're not really going to ask them a lot, but you're going to, you're going to pitch them softballs. So, you're going to ask them the questions, like, what's it feel like to live here in this neighborhood? What do you love most about the home?
What attracts you to the neighborhood? What are amenities that you feel like's great? What are neighbors like? How did you make friends here?
What's your favorite restaurant?
Yeah. What's a restaurant around your location? And what events does HOA host? So, some of those are really great stuff.
And think about, first of all, how amazing does your seller think of you? Wow. And at the same time, what a great way to generate leads, for buyer leads at the same time, kind of thing. So we really like that one. Next one is do buyer seminars over Zoom, or at least do buyer seminars with Zoom. So we're seeing where, we had a lot of agents doing a lot of buyer seminars, and then when COVID hit, boom, most of them started. Now we have some of those coming back up. And so if you're going to do a live seminar, include Zoom, or do it directly in Zoom all by itself. So you can do Zoom seminars, and it works out really, really good. You just market it, and you can do them daytime, nighttime, anytime. Plus you can save it and reuse it and send it out and use it in social media as well, kind of thing. One of the cool things that you can do with Zoom is you can use the registration page. When you set up a Zoom event, you can set up all, in the registration page, you can ask them, are you buying your first home? How many, do you need down payment assistance? Are you working with a lender? Do you have an agent? These are great questions to help you. And then a lot of times they fill that out before they even attend the Zoom session, kind of thing. And so, but if they do, reach out to the folks that don't come. It's farther down the list, but even if they don't come, you've already got their information. You've already, hopefully you've got some pre-qualification questions out there. these are great people to reach out, kind of thing. So take your Zoom attendee list, upload it in your CRM. Take the folks who signed up but didn't come, upload that in your CRM. Reach out in advance, send text messages, those kind of things. And then last thing is be fun with it. Use a wacky, cool background, things like that help you stand out. But just you can have a lot of fun with it. See, we're seeing a lot of different things that are happening with COVID right now. And so, of course, the technology piece is one of those that as agents, we need to be doing a lot better with. But we also wanted to share with you, what are we seeing on like overall trends? And so one of those biggies that we're seeing is in home improvement. One of the biggest home improvements that we're seeing is repainting. The paint market is blowing up right now. So painting, light fixtures, after that kitchen upgrades, but small kitchen upgrades, painting the cabinets and upgrading countertops, putting in a backsplash, that kind of stuff. After that, new flooring, the majority of that is going to be carpet, and then bathrooms. So kitchens and baths is always going to be one of those that continues to do it. As far as on the outside, landscaping. I mean, the folks in our yard, in our neighborhood, make us look terrible. Some of these guys just sit around all day cutting their grass with like child safety scissors. I don't know. It looks amazing. So landscaping is definitely a biggie that we're seeing, and that's helping to add to property values as well.
Yeah, curb appeal has never been better.
Yeah.
So adding lawn. I have seen more solar lights being installed in landscaping and upturned to the trees and the pathway, replacing and fixing windows. That's another item for efficiency. New exterior paint. Alan and I need new siding. So that's next for us.
Now, the only challenge with the exterior paint is it's pretty spendy.
It is very spendy. Yeah. And the last not least, a patio deck and lanai. Lanai are really nice. A lot of people are enjoying the outdoor living and just spending some time in their out backyard because they feel like they're being crammed in a house. So that is one of the features that you probably see, koi pond and all that jazz.
Yeah. So where are they getting the money? Well, first of all, they're pulling it out of savings. Some folks are putting on credit cards. About 13% have been using their government's, the stimulus money from it kind of thing. And some folks have been, using tax refunds and personal loans. But most folks are doing it from savings, but we've been seeing savings increase at the same time. So what are folks looking for? What's going forward? What's it really going to be? And so for folks, the folks that is, what do they already have and what are they planning to add? First and foremost, high-speed internet. And we're not talking just internet. It used to be you had to have internet. Now we're talking
streaming.
Yeah. They want to be able to watch Netflix 24/7 kind of thing, and they don't want to get kicked off. Yeah,
our children does.
Yeah, our kids are addicted. So after that, one thing that we've seen that's been a kind of an interesting one is that outdoor pools are huge. For years, it was kind of like pools were a yes or no. Like if you had a pool,
liability for some folks.
Yeah, for pools where some folks wouldn't buy a house with a pool, other folks would only buy a house with a pool, and so you would be limiting your buyers. We're seeing the demands for pools higher now than we've seen in probably 15 years, kind of thing. Home offices and home gyms are two other areas where folks have been really adding space and utilizing space differently. And so being able to market properties that have home offices and have home gyms, those are really, really strong. Overall, we're seeing real estate in the rural areas really kind of ramping up. This is from realtor.com about where are the majority of the searches. And right now, searches for property in rural areas is up 34%. In suburban areas, it's up 30%. Now, urban is still up because folks are still home more right now, and it's up about 20%, but it's almost double that for the rural and suburban. We're kind of seeing the same things. We're seeing more price movement in the rural and suburban areas. Properties that in the past, properties with acreage, 5, 7, 15 acres that may have taken 6 months are going under contract in weeks now. And so rural property is kind of a big deal right now. And so that's a great thing. If you got folks looking to list property and it's kind of, it's going to take a while. I wouldn't necessarily count on that because we're seeing a real movement to the
Not only
rural.
that, right now I'm seeing more land purchases are coming through our back end of the system. So more so than I did on a normal time.
Yeah.
So,
and then the same thing we're seeing this, the rural areas are really getting a big push. And so not that this is changing anything, but we want to make sure that you're aware that the rural areas are really getting a bump. At the same time, we're seeing that apartments, condos, and townhomes those are some of the more challenged areas right now as far as price points and that kind of stuff. Places where there was no condo or townhome availability, suddenly there is.
right.
At the same time, folks are trying to get outside. We're starting to see the McMansions, for probably the last 10 years, at least the last 7 or 8 years, Americans were trying to go a little bit smaller in the homes. It wasn't about these big McMansions everywhere kind of thing. And now COVID hit. And suddenly, well, yes, we love our children, but I'd like you over there kind of thing is what we're seeing. And so
on the other side of Wing, please.
Yeah. So bigger homes are coming back in. This is a really cool thing for us. And so, but just to understand that bigger right now is better. So right now, are you stuck in a rut? I hope not. But if you are, we kind of want to go over 3 things with you to try and help you out, because the market really is doing really, really well. Residential real estate is based on supply and demand, and we have more demand than we have a supply for. So if you're in the real estate business and you're not doing well, on one hand, it's very easy for me to say, well, it's on you, because it really is. But sometimes it's easy to get stuck in a rut. It's easy to get put down.
Well, if all you do is listen to the news, I can tell you right now, you're gonna be fearful. You won't even step a foot out of your door. So
the first thing we want you to do,
you reduce your daily distractions.
Yeah, well, Ming mentioned news, but we've got friends that cannot turn the news off and live in the news. And I don't care what industry, where you are, if all you do is watch the news right now, you're going to be a sad, miserable, horrible person, because it's just, I don't mean person, but it just makes
your motivation would not be there. Your spirits will be down.
The whole world is terrible. Like, the world is a vampire. Yeah, it's just terrible because what news is good anymore?
What's your day job?
Okay, all right, sorry. But it's really true. So do try and reduce all the things that are taking you away from what's really important. Try and create a workplace where you can a space, even if you're working from home. When I'm at home, this is where I go to work. Reduce all those other crazy distractions in your life, kind of thing. Next thing,
find optimism.
Be positive, kind of thing. This kind of goes along the lines of daily affirmations.
Oh yeah.
Like we have a son and one of our sons. Well, we have a couple. We have multiple sons. Okay.
It's Monday.
But it's one of those where for like weeks he was waking up and he was a grumpy little SOB. And it was one of those like what is going on? And he's like, I'm in a bad mood. And the whole thing was, you know what? If you say you're in a bad mood, it's going to be, if you say today's going to be an awful day, I can promise you will be correct. And if you say today's going to be great, no matter what, that is also true. And so you've got to kind of be optimistic about what you're doing and how it's going to go ahead. If you drag yourself down, if you live in those dark places, it's a tough place for you to be. Last thing is be realistic. Too often we try and like when we're trying to pull ourselves out, well, I want to do this, 17 things later. And you give yourself so much, it's impossible to be successful. And then you end up that day and you're like, well, I didn't do it. I guess there's just no point, kind of thing. So stop with that.
You get deflated. And also prioritize, y'all. As much you guys know me, for those that been around me, that my task list is mountain high. So what I have to do sometimes is to prioritize what is most important, what is a deadline, what's non-negotiable. So move on that and take care of the rest of the stuff. So you feel like you at least have some things checked off, and you move forward. So.
All right, this week Tech Thursday, of course, is going to be about list reports. So we'll be having Nancy and Melissa back with us. Caroline's going to be leading up our Tech Thursday on list reports, and we're going to be going in much greater detail. So you can sign up at MX1 Training. You can see the video. We'll save the videos. They'll be on Workplace, and it'll also be on Real Estate Backstory. So please, join us for that. Accountability, we need you here. We put the accountability sessions in place because everyone is like, I need accountability. And now I got a lot of folks that started off really good. And then and I understand you got busy. That's great. But you don't want to do this with your business where it goes up and down. And that's because you start doing all those things that help you grow that business. And when you stop doing that, all you do is service those clients, next thing you know, 2 months down the line, you're like, I got to start all this all over again. So same thing with accountability, that helps keep you focused.
Well, kind of like your kids, you want your kids to be consistent.
Yep.
So when they go up and down like this with their behavior, it frustrates you to a certain extent. So, and you want your client to see you in a very consistent manner. So, but when you're like this, guess what? They're going to think, flaky.
And thanks to everyone that filled out the data from the healthcare survey.
Yes.
We're putting all that information together and really looking at what we can do to partner both with the companies as well as with you to try and provide really great agent healthcare kind of thing right now. So that's coming, and just know that we are working on that. We hope to have more information next week. Noonan office is moving, and it's moving this week. So by the end of this week, we will be moved into our new space. There's a couple of pictures of some of our stuff out there kind of thing.
Yeah, somebody was a little off the side.
But see, this is why we use a professional photographer so that we don't do this. So this is our new address. We're in the public shopping center at Coweta Crossroads kind of thing. So please come on by and see us. We should be there by through the end of this week. It's going to be, hopefully this is our last crazy week with the old office and the new office kind of thing. So all that's going on. At the same time, Fayetteville office is rolling. This is going to be another big week over there. We're continuing to move forward on that. If you need your Max One swag, please go to max1market.com. And really, that's about it for the day. So we really appreciate you. We hope that you find value in real estate backstory. In moving forward, we're going to be starting this on every Monday at 9 a.m. because we feel like this would be a better time to kind of start your week rather than going at 10. We're moving backstory up to 9. So every Monday at 9 a.m. is when the new backstory is going to be.
That way because we all know how busy Monday is. We don't want to drag it out until 11 o'clock. So if you're done by 10, at least you can get some other stuff done in the morning.
Hopefully done by 9:45, but we'd like it to be around 30, 45 minutes kind of thing. We ran a little long, but we really wanted to go into the detail with list reports today. So if we can be of any service, please call, text, smoke signals. We answer it all. We love and appreciate you. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Have a great week.
Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all.